Ines's nerfs are going to be reverted by the Ultimate Blair update on April the 17th. Now this is a very bold claim, and of course I'm going to back this up with evidence and everything just to get my point across, but let me tell you what I'm thinking about. So, the developer stream last night showed us 5 new external component sets which are on screen right now: the Skull Crusher set, the Moving Fortress, Enlightened Mage, Plague, and the Firebrand. Now, I specifically want to talk about the Firebrand, and the thing is, I'm not even talking about the entire set, I'm only talking about the 2 pieces of it. As you can see on screen right now, 2 pieces of this Firebrand set will give plus 35 range. Now, I apologize about the scuff screenshot, I didn't take the screenshot, so forgive me, but 35% range is absolutely insane on every Descendant. It doesn't matter whether you are running Freyna, Valby, Bunny, Ines, or anyone. This 35 range is absolutely criminal. Now let me show you some gameplay to show you what I mean. Now in this gameplay I am going to be using Sigma Sector as an example, just because nowhere else in the game can actually allow me to reach max range. Now even with this, I use my first ability once and my second ability once. Now I do want to discuss ability caps as well, but if you look at this, I'm not pressing any abilities, and this second ability chains so hard to the point where it wipes the entire map out. Hell, it's even hitting the ships elevated in the air, and that was from pressing an ability once and pressing a second ability once. Literally once. Now, I think this already is absolutely crazy, but I'm gonna just go into lab and show you a little bit of extra things just to hammer the point home a little bit extra. Now the biggest kicker in my opinion is the fact that I'm still not even actually running max range on Ines. What you are still able to do, or basically for any Descendant, is look at the ability. You can see that the max expandable range is 200%. Now that doesn't sound like a lot in theory, however, you need to remember the fact that we are not running max range with our current build. Now someone said we're running 100% already and everything on top makes it up to 250, but I think that's wrong. Whenever you start off with 0, but you can see this, even on her second ability, only has 200%. Now that chains, obviously, that chain was meant to be limited, and from this gameplay I see absolutely nothing close to any sort of a limit. Now on the fact that this is only on a 2-piece is what I find insane. You can replace your 2 pieces of Invader and you will still have 2 pieces of cooldown. I'm not even running range on my reactor either, which just goes to show that despite this still only being able to absolutely spread everywhere, plus 30 is still not even going to be cap range with Ines or with basically any other Descendant. 200% being cap, and even if we add 30 onto it, it's still not going to hit cap. We're not running maximized range, we are running amp control and skill expansion. You can still add frugal mindset onto here, but even with frugal mindset you can see that the max range on Ines is specifically going to be 166. Even adding 30 on top of that is still not going to take you over to that max 200% range cap, which is still crazy. You wouldn't run that specifically because obviously we're going to need the cooldown on Ines more so than frugal mindset, but even still, my point is that this is still insanely strong, and I don't know what content is coming, of course. They might have content that actually needs this, but this is essentially just going to revert all of the Ines nerfs with her range, which is going to be funny. Ines has never struggled with damage, and she's never struggled with anything else. Her range after the nerf was the only thing that she struggled with, and this completely reverts that. Now, even specifically with Bunny, if we were to run amplification control, which is what most people should be running with Bunny instead of maximized range, because the tree gives you the range back, this is still going to be the exact same concept. Now with Bunny, it is a little bit different. It's only 144% range on my ability, but look at Bunny's third ability. The max range on this is going to be 300 instead of 200, and in this instance I'm still only hitting 144. If I do go back to maximize range on Bunny, or even with Ines, absolute peak is going to be only 187. Now if we were to throw on the Invader pieces, 2 pieces of that on, or 2 pieces of cooldown on Bunny, which I would also run as well. And then let's also chuck on some range with the reactor just to hammer the point home. This is just, it's criminal. I think that this is a little bit too much. Now, of course, we don't have the game, so I'm still optimistic, and it might just be cool, so on and so forth. But yeah, the range hasn't really changed in the numbers, but in terms of actual practical gameplay, it's still going to go up. Oops, I was missing Frugal Mindset. Let's chuck Frugal Mindset on. But you can see even from here, Bunnies 3 is already very big range, and if we were to throw an additional 30 on it, it's going to go even higher. Now, if we push this concept over to Valby, a Descendant that's more based over damage over time, you can still see that with this is still going to absolutely kick. Now, I'm not using maximized range on this is still with amplification control, and giving Valby extra range as well is gonna absolutely kick. For example, let's just throw on maximize range on Valby instead. You can see that I've casted the first ability 1, 2 and 3 times, and look at the sheer, oh sorry, 4 times, my bad. Look at the sheer volume of just water everywhere. You're going to be able to essentially drown the room significantly faster with Valby as well, and the damage is not even going to take a hit. That's the craziest part about this. This is such a strong 2-piece, I don't know where it belongs. Now, of course, this is all in theory, so take everything I'm saying in this video with a massive grain of salt. So that's just something I want to mention first. Now, I could just be doom posting for absolutely no reason, and it might be absolutely fine. However, with Ines, I just think that this extra range is just crazy, and not even just Ines, other Descendants, they are getting so buffed. It makes me question how hard is this per challenge mode gonna be, or if there's something else that they're gonna like shadow nerf or something, so on and so forth. But this is just overall insane. Now, the correct way to play Ines currently, I would say at least, is by using your first ability to build up your resources, and then after that just casting your second. Your second ability is your strongest ability with Ines, and your second ability will chain to literally everything in the world, it seems. Your fourth ability, again, is just damage, but you're using your second ability to change. That is the real raw truth. You are using your second ability more than anything with Ines. The build that I showed might not be what you're running, but I've never had any issues with it, and it just absolutely deletes everything regardless. Ines is still one of, if not the strongest Descendants, and I just think that this massive range buff is essentially gonna revert the nerf, and that's something I'm very skeptical about. Now, of course, I didn't show every Descendant, like Freyna, how it could help Freyna, how it could help Blair, so on and so forth, but in the gameplay that they showed with Blair, they were using this Firebrand set for additional damage and additional range, so it's just making me think that this set is going to be used on like almost every build. So yeah, that's just my take on what I've seen, and I just want to know what you guys think about it, because this entire video is theory based, so you know, yeah, and yeah, that's basically it. Hope you've enjoyed. Please do smash that like button, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.